Good morning, Washington! And welcome to the latest edition of davetv here on davetv09.mp4. Not a lot to talk about today. Just thought I'd do a quicko one. Got the Washington Post from yesterday. Can the Washington Post restore its luster? That's Ombudsman Andy Alexander. And we learned from the Ombudsman that he's leaving the Post. He's finished with the Post. You know, the Ombudsman is the dude who's hired to basically critique the paper. And I guess he's done an okay job, but I'll tell you something. I had one run-in with him, and it wasn't a favorable one. A couple years ago, I ranted on DCR-TV that I thought Mike Wise had a bit of a conflict of interest. Here he's writing for the newspaper, writing for the Post, and he's also on the air on a radio station that competes with Dan Snyder and the Redskins. You know, Dan Snyder and the Redskins own WTEM, the rival sports talker in Washington, and Mike Wise is on WJFK, the other sports talker in town. So, in a sense, Mike Wise is competing with Dan Snyder. And at the same time, over at the Post, he's writing articles about the Redskins and Dan Snyder. And I thought that was a conflict of interest somewhere in that mushy haze of journalism. So I wrote a rant, and I guess Andy Alexander must have read it. And he called me up. And he asked me about my comments, and I basically told him what I'm telling you. And he asked about my website, and I gave him all this information. And then a couple days later, he ran one of his Ombudsman columns, and in it, he just said, well, some crazy, goofy blogger somewhere brought this up, and, you know, kind of wish-washy did about Mike Wise. Well, maybe Mike should take better care, this and that. But he didn't have the guts to mention DCR-TV or me. I thought, you know, I mean, I can understand some of the other posties not wanting to mention me, because I do compete. I do kick their butt on a lot of journalism, a lot of local media scoops, but I thought, you know, the Ombudsman of the paper can't even mention me. He's scared to do it. I really thought that was kind of a yucky thing, and I really kind of stopped liking him much after that. Yeah, I think he'll go on. He'll do good. Maybe he'll get a job over at Romanesco doing some blogs and for, you know, journalism weenies and kissing journalism butt, because I can't see him doing much more than that. Anywho, there, I feel better. I've raged. So what else are we going to do today? Remember them? Kicks 106. PKX, WVKX. They used to be at 105.9. They were, you know, back when the station was still in Woodbridge. It's now 105.9 The Edge, with studios in Washington. But technically, their city of license was Woodbridge. May still be technically Woodbridge. I think they probably go WVKX, Woodbridge, Washington. That's their top of the hour ID. But anywho, an interesting little station there. They used to be on AM 2. Remember, they used to have an AM signal on 730. And remember Gary D? He used to work there. Quite a controversial morning man who recently passed away. You can read some memorabilia about him on DCR-TV Plus and on the mailbag at the site. Also, a nice little memory. Couple really cool guys here. There we go. This is me. I'm pregnant here. This was 2004, and I don't know. I got fat that year, and full beard and all that. And, yeah, I really do look like I'm pregnant. But anyhow, the other two gentlemen in this picture, in the middle there is Morris Jones, who used to be with Channel 5. Used to do the evening news over there. And then he went up to Baltimore for a couple years and did the news on Sinclair's News Central, which was seen on Channel 45 and all over the country. And now he's back in Washington at TBD TV, which is also known as News Channel 8. Really cool guy. Like Morris a lot. He has a great sense of humor. Used to be on the Don and Mike show a lot. Really cool guy. Nice guy. And our old friend, Walt Starling. Walt was a wonderful man. He used to fly the traffic plane way back in the 70s and 80s, and a great guy. He passed away of cancer. When was that? 2005. I think early 2005, late 2004. This picture was taken in the summer of '04, and he passed away that following winter. This was up at Reston's South Lakes Village Center. There's the row in the background there. We had a real nice lunch there at the Lakeside Inn. Not the Lakeside Inn. Yeah, the Lakeside Inn. That's right. That's what they call it. But Morris had, I think he had his camera on automatic pilot there and took that picture. And yeah, it's really nice. And another one, little bit of a close up there. Walt was a wonderful guy. He had these Washington Quarter Century Broadcasters dinners that he did every year. They didn't have one this past year, but they've every October or November, all the old radio vets, TV vets would get together and have a really nice time and a nice meal, and it's a cool thing. And they didn't do it this past year, but hopefully in the future we'll get something together on that. And finally, I'm going to do a series on some cool radio movies. Today's cool radio movie, Radio Days, Woody Allen movie. Woody Allen is one of my favorite directors. Always loved Woody, although his last couple movies were stinko. But back in the day, Woody was a brilliant film director, and this was one of his most brilliant pictures. Mia Farrow, Julie Kavner, who's the Marge on The Simpsons. Some really good actors and actresses in this. About Woody's early days, his youth in Brooklyn, and how much radio played, back in the 40s and stuff like that. Wonderful movie, wonderful music. I highly recommend this. Get it on Netflix or buy it in the store or whatever. But Radio Days. It's a truly charming, wonderful picture. All right, we're going to keep it short this week. This episode of davetv09.com, Dave's Dave TV, and that's about it for today. Have a great one, and don't forget to visit dcrtv.com, the greatest source of local news, local media news, and information in the Washington area. And we also have subsites for Philly and New York, and for Boston, Hartford, and Providence. And that will do it for me today. No food in my beard. Very good. Very good indeed. Still waiting for Comcast to put Antenna TV on channel 201. They said they'd do it this week. It still ain't there. Come on, Comcast. Antenna TV is a cool, nostalgic TV channel from channel 50, and it's on the air, but we're still waiting for it on the Comcast cable. If you have Cox, you can already get it, but we're still waiting for it on Comcast. So get your asses in gear, Comcast, now that you merged with NBC. Okay, that's it. And don't forget to stay tuned!